And so, it begins. Dark were the skies and chill was the wind as the land was covered in a veil of malice. Across the hill did ride a dread army of the night, cloaked in mist and fog, prepared to rain down death and destruction upon the land. And the people cried out for a savior, a noble soul to save them from their impending demise. Just as it seemed all was lost, in strode a mighty hero, clad in shimmering metal from head to toe. Wielding a terrible broadsword, he did cleave his foes in twain, smashing their ranks asunder with a righteous fury. And when the day was done, and the enemy strewn across the fields in pieces, the people did turn to the warrior and say, "We shall name this day in your honor. Speak unto us your wisdom." Slowly the warrior turned to face the assembled crowd. Lifting his sword on high, he said but one word that day. One man, one Murloc, one giant, angry badger. This is Blue Please. It begins now.
Yes, indeed, folks. Welcome to Blue Please right here on CynicalBrit.com. The date today is, in fact, the 4th of June, 2011. The show was delayed by one day because I was really damn busy yesterday. Not that I'm not really damn busy today, but I'm slightly less damn busy. Things got very hectic yesterday. A lot of stuff had to be sorted out in very, very short period of time. It was done, thankfully. Oh, God. I think I'm still tired from that. I think I maybe got to bed at about 6 in the morning. Ugh, Christ. Yes. I'm hoping that if my sleeping schedule keeps going this way, that I'll be on a really reasonable sleeping schedule in the next few months. I could go to bed at 6, and it's like, yes, I could maybe reverse it round, but it's going to take some time. No, it's a terrible idea. Don't do that, folks. It's awful. Stupid, incredibly stupid thing to do. Oh, well. Okay, folks, so, what's going on in the show today? Well, there will be an announcement coming very, very shortly. Fairly important. Pretty damn awesome, hopefully, for a lot of people. What else is coming? Well, we can talk a little bit about a certain flying lion. It's probably a good idea. It's not a very good flying lion, is it? Oh dear. And also talk about a little bit about DDO. Got back into that. Some of the lessons that WoW could learn from that. The idea of perhaps casual satisfaction done better by DDO without sacrificing the integrity of the game. Yes. What a bizarre idea that is. It can be done, however. Needless to say, your chance to contribute to the show will become available. It is the one and only. It's the illusion of choice. It's a lazy, lazy feature. You can contribute to the show by emailing in themurloc@gmail.com. That is themurloc@gmail.com with the subject line illusion of choice. And if you have a good topic, I shall cover it at the end of the show. We're doing mail in probably the next segment, I think. I don't know. It depends how long this announcement takes. Haven't timed it out, so... we'll see. Maybe, maybe not. Well, I suppose I better tell people, shouldn't I? Yeah, why not? Well, just make the first segment the announcement segment. As well let people know what's going on. So, folks, this is what's going to be happening. I shall be going to DreamHack Summer 2011, which is in 2 weeks' time. 17th through to the 21st, I believe. I'm going there for several reasons, one of which I'm not allowed to talk about yet. I will, needless to say, announce that when I'm allowed to say what it is. It's actually kind of annoying that I can't say what it is, because it's really cool, but I can't talk about it. But yes, I will be going to DreamHack for 2 reasons that I can talk about. One of them is to commentate Paragon's live raid on stage. So I'll be doing an hour's worth of stage work at DreamHack with Paragon, as in the top raiding guild in the world. And I will be commentating a live raid, which I would imagine is most likely to be involving heroic Firelands, I would think, by the sounds of it. We shall see how that goes. And I'm also going in order to support Nordrasil Radio, who will be broadcasting from that event. I shall be going there to do a few shows with them and help them out. So you will be able to see me there. I will be at the Nordrasil Radio table, which, if I recall correctly, is in the exhibitors area. So I will be around. I will be doing something else there as well for a lot of the time. I can't tell you what it is. I'm not allowed. It's very, very annoying, but I can't tell you yet. But it is kind of cool nonetheless. But yes, you'll know about that when I'm allowed to say it. So, we'll be doing that, and it should be pretty awesome, honestly. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to meeting all of the Swedes over there. I did say I would come to DreamHack in some capacity at some point, so it seems like it makes sense to do that. Be doing streaming. Lots of streaming, plenty of streaming. And there will, of course, also be VODs available for those who miss it over on youtube.com/Morfar and youtube.com/TotalHalibut. Now, basically, Nordrasil Radio is a fairly small fan site, as you're well aware. It's kind of what WoW Radio used to be like. And they have to pay quite a lot of money in order to get all of this set up. So I'll be going, definitely, and needless to say, I'm not charging anyone for that. I'm just going to go. I can afford it. It's not a big deal. And Nordrasil Radio are kind of lacking in funds at the moment to ensure their participation. So if any of you have a couple of dollars sort of knocking around in your PayPal account to donate to Nordrasil Radio's DreamHack Fund to help them out, they are working on sponsorship, and hopefully they'll be able to get that sorted out, but they can't guarantee it just yet. If you do have a couple of dollars knocking around and you would like to donate to their fund, that would be awesome, just to help them out. As I say, I don't need any help. I'm fine. Won't have an issue, but they're obviously on a much tighter budget. So you can donate to Morfar at live.se. That's MORFAR at live.se. Or you can head over to nordrasilradio.com/site/donate. It's nordrasilradio.com/site/donate. And I'm sure they would appreciate very, very, very much that particular donation. So yeah, I shall be at DreamHack, and it should be awesome. Looking forward to it. God damn it, I wish I could tell you about the other thing. Infuriating. Oh well. Hopefully I shall see many of you there as possible. I really, really hope so. It should be good. DreamHack's something I've been wanting to attend for a very long time. Now finally able to do so. Oh, there you go. Alright, so that's the announcement, folks. Check out nordrasilradio.com, check out youtube.com/Morfar, and if you do have a couple of dollars knocking around, please donate to their fund just to help them out. That would be appreciated. It is, of course, a completely volunteer organisation over there. Right, what else is going on this week? Well, those of you interested in StarCraft, I have the second player announcement available for my 8-man invitational, which is going to be happening a week before DreamHack. That will be on Sunday, the 12th of June, so that is in 8 days' time. There are 2 players out of the 8 announced so far, and I'm announcing 1 new player every day for it. And today's announcement was for the one and only Hazuobs. He is our first Protoss player in the lineup. So hopefully people will enjoy seeing him. He's one of my favourite Protoss by a very, very long way. So there you go. We'll see how that turns out. Aside from that, things that are coming up this week. Looking into getting some Terraria sorted out for you in the next couple of days. Shouldn't be too much of a problem. We're trying to crack that. I believe that OMFG, Kato, and Jesse are currently doing a live stream at the moment, which is the reason that we're not doing any recording right now. And I do have a lot of other things to do. I should be doing the streaming for the StarCraft later on. And those of you interested in more DDO footage, again, things I'm working on, things are very hectic. I'm very, very busy. I'm trying my best, but there's only so many things I can do in one day without collapsing of exhaustion. Should be good, however. I think that pretty much covers everything, actually, for the major announcements for the time being. Needless to say, aside from the Paragon Live Raid, WoW coverage isn't happening on the channel at the moment. This show will continue for as long as I deem it fit to. As in, as long as I'm having fun with it, then I'll keep doing it. I think people keep forgetting the amount of times where I've been unsubbed from the game, where I've been doing Blue Please, just because, at the end of the day, Blue Please has been around forever, you know? Blue Please has been part of my gaming career for ages, so it's kind of important to keep doing it, and it's really more of a hobby than anything else. It's not a revenue generator. I mean, we have an ad on the show which helps support the site and keep it running, and that's really about it. So, there you go. Without further ado, folks, I think it's probably time. Yes, I think so. It makes sense. It's time for this.
Mail time!
That sounds like... It's mail time! Here's the mail.
It never fails.
It makes me want to wag my tail. When it comes,
I want to wail.
It's mail time, folks. That would be the time where we read the mail. Sounds like a plan to me. This one comes in from Alex House that says, I don't think I have that sample anymore. I would like to play the Host of Souls sample, but I don't actually have it anymore. I think the only one I've got is...
you.
There we go. That one's still in my sound bank for some reason. I lost all of my other ones. Oh, well, never mind. I will have to rebuild it at some point. Anyway, a long time, it's the first time right. I want to discuss the issue of Blizzard's current raiding philosophy and my take on what is exactly happening. My argument of the current raiding philosophy is that Blizzard hates multi-tier raiding, and in fact want to push all raiders into the same tier of raiding regardless of skill. I would argue that for Blizzard, the biggest issue with multi-tiered raiding is the gap that begins to open up between the top-end guilds and your average or casual raiders, i.e. in TBC, top-end guilds finished tier 6 content, while casuals were still completing tier 4. Although players didn't have an issue with this, Blizzard did, and were aggrieved by the statistics that told them that the majority of players hadn't even seen the top-end raid dungeons. They interpreted this as a bad thing. This brings us to their solution. Blizzard's solution for reducing the gap between high-end guilds and casuals was, of course, only releasing a single raid per tier, with the exception of the opening tier of the expansions, and never releasing multiple tiers in the same patch, therefore effectively stopping top-end guilds advancing to the next tier. This model would ensure that all raiders would have a chance to raid the same tier without a huge gap forming between top ends and casuals. But a problem still remained. How do you ensure that all players will still be able to raid the same tier of content when it's released, if they still lack the skill and gear needed to do so? Enter the badge system, the simple and effective solution to ensure that all and every player can acquire the gear needed to raid the next tier and at the same time effectively make the previous tier obsolete. The overall outcome is therefore shoehorning players into the new tier of raiding. Blizzard claims that they are now nerfing content in order to ensure that all players can see it. And that's absolute crap. For example, if a new player came in towards the end of Wrath, they were able to grind out the full set of tier 9 gear from running 5-mans, therefore effectively bypassing 3 tiers of raiding. How the hell is that seeing the content that let people skip over 13 months of development? The only logical reason I could fathom is they wanted more control over the level of progression players and guilds are able to make in the game. And to that extent, they are removing choice from the players. The concept of aiming to have all players progressing on the same content detracts from one of the key satisfactions you get from this game, and that is the unique and special snowflake appeal. People want to be proud of their achievements, and the best way to do that since the beginning of WoW was through gear. If you saw someone in Tier 2 and especially Tier 3 back in Vanilla, you could be in total awe of them as they looked epic. Yes, yes indeed, he did in fact just say epic. In comparison to the current situation where everyone's running around with the same gear and everyone has amazing gear and it's the same thing as no one having it at all, you effectively become a generic copy, and the main reason it's happening is because Blizzard got rid of multi-tiered raiding, and I would argue that's to the detriment of the game. I agree with you that Fireland sounds like a joke. 7 bosses in more than 6 months of development time is pathetic. In 6 months I would want to see at least 2 new raid instances, 4 new dungeons, and additional quests put in, as well as lead up to said dungeons and raids. I was wondering what your opinion on my argument is, and if you think it has any validity. Big fan of the show, and keep up the amazing work, etc. This post was sponsored by Blizzard's No Scrub Left Behind policy, ensuring that even if you are completely terrible, you still get the epics. And as such, those epics are no longer epic, aren't they? It's a nasty little hydra of a philosophy. You can't just cut off one head, because it'll regrow and it's still got 2 other bloody heads. Assuming it's a 3-headed hydra, it could be an even more headed hydra. It is an awful situation. You have people in the community that dare to say, I abandoned Azeroth Daily because I was sick of doing it, and I wanted to use this as an excuse to get out of it. It's like, are you kidding? I get paid for this crap! Besides, if I wanted to abandon Azeroth Daily, I wouldn't then just abandon all WoW content as well. Are you kidding? It's a license to print money! I can go on the PTR for 4 minutes to get 100,000 views of frickin' hairstyles! It's easy money! Here's the thing, I don't want easy money. What I want is the ability to put out content about games that are actually not terrible, and developers that don't have horrible attitudes. And I'm just sick to death of Blizzard's attitude. I really, really am dismissing all of the concerns of people that have actually been playing for a long time. But then you say, oh God. Oh God. But I still play the game, and my name is Lore or whatever, or I am Matthew Rossi, and I still play the game, and I've played for ages, and I love it, blah, blah, blah. It's like, yes, I know, I'm sorry your entire career is tied to WoW, but mine isn't. God, you can't have Matthew Rossi stop playing World of Warcraft, because that's his entire job! It's like, you write for WoW Insider! You can't stop playing WoW, it doesn't matter how much you goddamn despise it! You cannot escape, and I'm very sorry that you're caged into that. I really, really am. But at the end of the day, I'm not. I've got all sorts of things I can be doing. It's good to have variety. It's good to be an omni-gamer. It's good to cover that kind of stuff and actually have people want to hear your opinions on that. It's nice. It's good. But at the end of the day, that's not really the point, is it? The point is that what this guy's actually saying in this email is pretty much bang on. The see all the content is a fallacy. It's a fallacious argument because it becomes the opposite. And you might say, well, Total Biscuit, that is nonsense! And why is it nonsense? Well, it's nonsense because they could go see the content. It's fine. They can overgear it and they can go see it there. Right. Okay. Again, that's seeing the content. What is your definition of seeing the content? Because I have an alternative. How about, instead of seeing the content, we experience it? How about that? That sounds like a good idea, doesn't it? You want to know why it sounds like a good idea? Because, to me, games are not about seeing, they're about experiencing, and they're about believing. And you might say, well, seeing is believing. Bollocks, not in World of Warcraft it isn't. If I want to see content, I can watch it on YouTube. Doesn't matter. No, I want to experience the content. I want to do the content when it matters. I want the challenge to be present. I want to be the appropriate gear level for that challenge. To me, if I were to say, join in the middle of Wrath, and then suddenly it says, oh, well, you can get free tier 9 by doing this, would I want to go back to Old War? No, I would have no interest in doing so, because, well, there's 2 reasons. One, as much as people argue otherwise, gear is a powerful motivator. But what's more important is the way that that gear is acquired. It's the same argument as the reward thing in Minecraft. I'd like to apply Minecraft to this argument. You want to know why Minecraft is so compelling? It's not just about the ability to just build anything you want. No. Yes, the creativity matters, but that's not the main thing. The thing about Minecraft, especially survival mode Minecraft, that makes it really matter is the fact that you build things with your own 2 hands, with the materials you gathered with your own 2 hands, while fending off evil monsters that tried to stop you from acquiring those materials with your own 2 hands. There is a massively, inherently worthwhile feeling about doing that. It doesn't matter, from the smallest shelter and shack to the biggest tower castle sculpture of your Wang, with great detail, soaring to the skies. It doesn't matter what it is, because you built it with your own 2 hands. And raiding is the same thing. When you acquire that piece of gear that you've been after for ages, it's because you acquired it with your own 2 hands. And you worked for it. And you knew it when you got that drop. You knew when that drop came there, that you earned that drop, and that drop to you is worth more than it possibly could be being supplied by somebody else. With your own two hands, folks. And as far as I'm concerned, they can pry that feeling away from me, from their cold, and indeed from my cold dead hands, because I'm just so sick of their attitude. What do they think people are? You know, if I were a customer for Blizzard, which of course I was until a few weeks ago, I would be insulted by Blizzard's attitude. Blizzard says to you, you are not capable of this, and you know what? You never wanted that anyway. And sure, if you're on the current tier, you're fine, but what about the guys that come in later? What about the guys that take a break? What about the guys who actually weren't interested in raiding up until now? What about those guys? Why shouldn't they be able to, with their own two hands, achieve these things? Why should they have it handed to them? Why should they have their intelligence and potential skill insulted by Blizzard? Because Blizzard just believes you want to play the current tier, and you're okay with getting gear easily. In a laborious, dumb, and repetitive way. You're alright with that. You don't mind. You never wanted that experience anyway. You never wanted that feeling anyway. You never wanted that respect anyway. And that's actually a lot of what this is all about. It's about self-respect. As in, I cannot respect my acquisitions if I got them in a way that to me does not feel like I earned them. For God's sake, ooh, well, you can get tier 9 with these, blah, blah, blah. It's like, I didn't deserve the tier 9. Anyone that got tier 9 that way did not deserve it. And to me, it feels cheap. It feels really unpleasant. I don't like it. Not one little bit. I really dislike the feeling, and I dislike the fact that this game is not rewarding to me and doesn't feel fulfilling anymore from an entertainment standpoint. And this big long email I just presented there, pretty much in a nutshell, sums up as exactly why that is. My name is Total Biscuit. You're listening to Blue Please right here on CynicalBrit.com. I'll be right back after this. It's by X and Star. It's called Blind Leading the Blind. Enjoy.